All right. So now that you know about a rate, which is a special type of ratio, we're going to compare rates. So in this case here, we've got a driving situation. So we've got a car that's traveling a certain distance in a certain amount of hours. And then we have another car that's traveling its own set of miles in a certain amount of time. And so we want to compare these two rates and figure out who's going, in this case, we want to know who's going faster. Okay. So first things first, we are going to get my red. So in car A, we'll just call it the red car. We want to know that we're comparing miles per hour, essentially, right? Or miles to hours. So when we have miles, we're going to go ahead and put in, oops, that's a zero, our 208, which is our given information, and our 4 hours. Okay, so we have the distance and we have the hours, but we really want to know, in order to sort of quickly compare the blue car to the red car, or car A to car B, we really want to know, well, what's the unit rate? How far is it going in 1 hour? So in order to do that, what we can do is we can say, well, let's figure out, we want the hours to get down to one. So we want to know, in 1 hour, how far did car A go? Well, what can you do to this four to turn it into a one, right? This 4 hours to turn it into 1 hour. Well, four divided by itself is going to get you one. So four divided by four gets us our 1 hour. That's an H for hour. Well, legally speaking, right, to keep this ratio or this rate equivalent, we need to, whatever we do to one side, do that same thing to the other. So we're going to go ahead and divide this also by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So we have 52 miles per for car red, or car A. Well, let's figure out car B. So we want to know, is it moving faster or slower than 52 miles in an hour? So we're going to set it up miles per hour. Okay. And then we'll say this time they're going 245 miles over the course of 5 hours. And we want to compare by getting it down to the same sort of length of time so that we can compare the miles more easily. So in order to get the hours down to one, we can divide 5 by 5 to get us our 1 hour. Whatever we do to one side, we need to do the same to the other. So let's do 240 divided by 5, and we end up with 49 miles. Okay, so as we compare them, we can see that in 1 hour, car A traveled 52, forgot my measurement, miles, and car B traveled 49 miles. So the person who's going faster would be the person who went further, right, in that same length of time. So in this case, car A is the going at a faster rate, using unit rates to help us compare. So we'll go ahead and move to number 2 here and set it up so that you can then try your best at solving. So we have Travion made $117 working 9 hours. So we have dollars per hour. Okay. His friend Lila made $87 working 6 hours at her job. So we're going to compare, right? So we want to say, well, Travion, we'll call his sort of work situation here blue. So he is $117 in 9 hours. Whereas in red over here, we'll say Lila is still dollars per hour. We're going to say she's $87 per 6 hours. So you want to compare them by getting them down to their unit rate per hour, per 1 hour. So in order to do that, you want to divide both of your hours by itself to get it to one, remembering to do the same thing to both sides. And when you do, go ahead and pause the video, try it out, and we'll reveal the answer here for you. All right, welcome back. So as you divide each by itself to get it down to 1 hour, you see that Travion made $13 an hour, and his friend Lila made more at $14.50 an hour.